It's a big, big day in the Hertz Kingdom, and I was going back and forth on which show to do, but I decided this one because what people need to understand is an offense coordinator affects the king. We all know this. So, YouTube. So, with that being said, welcome to another edition of the Jalen Freaking Hurts podcast with your boy, Cool Cat Connor. Here on this podcast, what I'm doing, we talk 95% of Jalen Freaking Hurts, which is a hint of Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, we may be on Cancun, but acknowledge me! Cool Cat Connor still, my DJ Khaled voice, still acknowledge Jalen Freaking Hurts as my franchise quarterback, DJ Khaled, still acknowledge me!
Jalen Hurts. Let's see if he can get something going. There's Hurts. He's back. Fire. Touchdown! They really came out on fire. Hurts.
He is in such control.
Hurts. What a play by Jalen Hurts. Beautiful throw by Hurts. 3 rushing touchdowns. Give me a little more of that. Boy, that hurts. Boy, did he make magic happen.
Jalen Hurts, number 1.
That really, really hurts.
Well, yeah, what's up, everybody? So let's get to telling the truth, which is going to hurt you. And the truth is, well, Jalen Freaking Hurts and the Birds are getting a new OC. Because breaking news. If you haven't been living under a rock, you would know that Kevin Patullo has been fired as offensive coordinator by your Philadelphia Eagles. And let me say this on behalf of the King, Jalen freaking Hurts, the man, the myth, the legend, the baby goat. Thank you for all that you do, Kevin Patullo. I'm not here to laugh, joke, giggle, none of that stuff. You can go somewhere else. I ain't here for all that. YouTube. Not at all. You did the best that you could, and it is what it is, and the bees what it bees. Right? That's why I'm not gonna be up here laughing, joking, giggling, hee hop. No. No. Thank you for all that you do. You know? Thank you. But it's time to move on. Because if I can call the plays, you all the 8 of you, can call the plays, know the plays, then so can everybody else. So can everyone else. Mike Green, please tell me this. Every time I read Mike Green's comment, it feels like I'm nervous because I know there's an argument coming. I love Mike Green. I'm glad he's on here with us. But every time I read his comment, it feels like an argument's about to start. Just so y'all know, I'm not muted. What up, William? I'm not muted. There's a reason I'm quiet. Because, like I said, this is why every time Mike Green shows up and I read his comment, it feels like we start in an argument. He comes up here, love him to death. He knows that. He comes up here and say, no excuses for Jalen. And then I pull this up. And then we're going to have it. And then Mike going to come up here and say, still, no excuses for Jalen or this, that, and the other. And then we're going to have an argument. And then I'm going to think about blocking him, which I'm not. And then he going to be mad. And then I'm leaving. And then this, that, and the other. Then he'll be back tomorrow. How you doing, Mike Green, by the way? How you doing? What up, Rock the Artist? I can't see that. See what? Anyway. Oh, Mike. Okay. So basically what this is, ladies and gentlemen, and the Mike Greens of the world, this is how many play callers the guy Mike Green says, and let me read this. Let me clear my throat. Let me see what he says. No excuses next year. None. I don't want to hear Jalen has a new coordinator. That's why he's not playing good. Don't do that next year. So we can't. So when he had one with Doug Peter, with Lane Kiffin, with Brian Dayball, with Mike Lockski, with Lincoln Riley, with Dougie P, Nick Sirianni. He's an Eagles fan. We know this. Mike Green's an Eagles. Let's not have this argument. We know Mike Green's an Eagles fan who don't like Jalen Hurts. We know this. Just let him. That's why I'm playing along. I know what he is. I'm playing along. He is. Trust me. He'll come up here and say that I'm an Eagle fan that don't like Jalen. I know it's coming in less than 10 seconds. But these are all. Ask him that. I don't know why he's an Eagle fan. Ask him that. I do not know. I guess he grew up as one. I do not know. But anyway, these are all the offensive coordinators that Jalen freaking Hurts have. Shane Steichen was probably the only one that we could confidently say he's going to be here. And what happened? Head coach job. Then we hired from within and got Brian Johnson. Now, Brian Johnson wasn't a problem, but he wasn't a solution. Also, we had a bad defense. Either way, we got bounced out in the first round. Kellen Moore. We all know what Kellen Moore did for Jalen freaking Hurts. And then Kevin Patullo. I want an offensive coordinator that will come up here and help Jalen. I need an offensive coordinator that will shut up people because ever since, I find it, because this is funny, y'all. This is funny to me. Ever since we got eliminated, most of the blame is not on Kevin Patullo. Most of the blame is not even on Nick Sirianni. Can y'all tell me who a lot of these pundits, haters, doubters, critics, media, they're blaming, some of them is blaming it on Kevin Patullo. Yeah, this guy. I want an offense. These are the two things I want in the offensive coordinator. And we'll get to the two people I think I saw reports of. I want an offense coordinator that will help Jalen. Of course. See what I'm talking about? I want an offensive coordinator that will do two things. Help develop Jalen, but also will stay here. I need you to stay here. I don't need you to go on YouTube, get a head coach job, and then we're right back here at the beginning. I don't need that. I need you to be the offensive coordinator this year, next year, the following year, Mike Green, why are you stopping my flow? Mike Green, just admit you'll never be happy until the Eagles blow it all up. Just admit it, Mike. Mike Green, this is what I know about Mike Green. He will never be happy until the Philadelphia Eagles blow it all up. I know Mike. This has been Mike Green will not be happy until we blow it all up. I know Mike Green. Every time I'm in the flow, here comes Mike Green. And I feel like he won't be happy until we blow it up. Oh, you want Nick gone. Well, all I'm going to say is, Mike, if Nick fails in a search, because let me show y'all this. I'm going to show y'all something I saw. Excuse me, Jalen. We'll bring you back in a minute. I saw something on X that I need to show y'all. And I want y'all to take. Okay, I need y'all to take and ask, is these the right guys for the job? Let me pull this up. And shout out to y'all. Let's get them likes up. Whether you like Jalen freaking Hurts or you Mike Green, get them likes up. Let me pull this up right here. And let me make it bigger. Shout out to Boss, too. He always says that. Let me make this bigger. Shout out to Boss. Now, shout out to Joshana Anderson with the scoop. Let me make this bigger. Wi-Fi acting up. All right, y'all. All right, Mike Green. As much as Mike Green don't like Jalen, he is an Eagles fan. Let's just let him have his rant. Mike Green been waiting for this after last year when Jalen won a Super. Let Mike Green have his fun. He ain't gonna stop this until he gets what he wants. Let him have his fun. But let's get back to the topic at hand, please, y'all. I know y'all hate what Mike Green does. Let him have his fun today. He been waiting a year for this. Mike Green been waiting a year for this, especially with Jalen. Let Mike Green have his fun. He been waiting a year for this. Because last year, Jalen won a Super Bowl. He was calm, cool, and collected. Let Mike Green have his fun. So a league source said Cliff Kingsbury, a runner-up when the team hired Kellen Moore, and Kevin Stefanski will get a real look for the Eagles' offensive coordinator position, among other options, assuming head coach How long they been gone? I need my thing for. Yeah, I know you don't, Mike. I know you don't. But anyway, again, let's get back to the focus of the offense coordinator. Cliff Kingsbury And Kevin Stefanski, I'm messing up his name, will get a real look for the Eagles' offensive coordinator position, among other options, assuming head coach signings don't seduce the team's vacancy. So I'm going to ask y'all, for Jalen freaking Hurts and for the Eagles, which one of these guys do you like? And if you can choose an offensive coordinator for this vacancy, which one would it be? Do you like Cliff? Do you like Kevin? Do you like any other? What's the option at office coordinator? Y'all let me know, because I kind of like Kevin Stefanski, but I also love Frank Reich. I could see that too, but it's all up to Nick Sirianni. He better make this right. That's all I'm gonna say. I think it's either Frank Reich or Kevin Stefanski. I don't think it's Brian Daboll. I don't know. Cliff Kingsbury. I don't know. I think it's either Frank Reich or Kevin. That's my opinion. Y'all let me know in the chat. Right. Y'all let me know in the chat. I think it's Kevin Stefanski or it's excuse me. And I think it's Kevin Stefanski or Frank Reich. But that's just me. You know? That's just me. I think it's Frank Reich or Kevin. That's what I think. I don't know about Phillip Rivers. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. Right. Phillip Rivers, I don't know though. Maybe though. But do he wants to? The question is, do he wants the job? That's the question. Do he wants the job? That's the question for Phillip Rivers? Do he want the job? And is he the right fit? That's the question. Is he the right fit? I don't know. That's the question. Because who knows? He might want to be a head coach. He might want to be a head coach. I don't know. That's the question. Is Philip, you know? And I agree. He can teach Jalen. But do he wants to be a head coach? And that's the thing. Do he want to be a head coach? And that's, and Mike Green, let me take this off real quick. Put Jalen back in here. Because that's what I'm saying, Mike Green. That's what I'm saying. Like, Philip Rivers, okay. Do we have time? That's the question. Time. Do he wants to be a coach? Okay, we got to ask ourselves that. That man wants to be a head coach? I don't know. Because, like, okay, he probably wants to spend time with the dads. Probably want to spend time with the kids. I don't know. That's a question that we need to ask. Exactly. We don't know. So if you bring him in, that takes him away from the kids. Because now he got to leave all that, come to Philly, and study and create the playbook for next season. And here's the worst thing about that. You don't know who you're playing week 1. You know the opponents, right? We know the opponents, and we'll talk about that in the upcoming days. We know our opponents. We just don't know when we're going to play them and what week. You see what I'm saying? Like, you don't know. And you expect Phillip Rivers to come up here. OTAs, mandatory minicamp, training camp. off-season workouts, all that. You don't know who you're bringing in because we don't know what the roster's going to look like, especially on the offense side of the ball. We know Jalen, AJ's is staying. We all know this. Smitty, Goddard, Saquon, most of the offensive line, we probably got, you know what I mean? So there's that. You got to learn all of them. I'm just saying what Phillip Rivers got to do. He has to come in, leave his family, learn Jalen, AJ, because AJ's staying, Devontae, Goddard, Saquon, Cam Jurgen, Jordan Mailata, Leonard Dickinson, Lane Johnson, get a new offensive coordinator, because what the hell, Tyler Steen? Right? Then there's all-season workout program. You don't know who you're getting in free agency. You don't know who you're getting in the draft. You got to find out who your week one opponent is. It might be the 49ers if they win the Super Bowl. It might be the Bears if they win a Super Bowl. You don't know. And we're going to expect Phillip Rivers to do. Come on, y'all. Yeah, Grant Calcaterra, like, yeah. Right. I'm just saying, man. Right. So I don't think it's Phillip Rivers. I think it's Frank Wright or Kevin Stefanski. That's my thing. I think it's one of them. I'm sorry, I'm muted. I like Frank Wright and I like Kevin Stefanski. Right. Yeah, Josh McDaniels ain't leave, especially if they win a Super Bowl. And speaking of which, I know y'all gonna ask me, Cool Cat. Now that the Eagles are eliminated, who do you want to win in the Super Bowl? No, anybody in the AFC. Anybody in the AFC. Give me the Bills. Give me the Patriots. Give me the Broncos. Give me the Bills or the Broncos, the Patriots, or the Texans. I don't need nobody in the NFC taking the spot or the throne from the king. Give it to somebody in the AFC. Let it be Buffalo. Josh Allen deserves a Super Bowl. Give it to him. Give it to the Texans. Maybe Maybe somebody from Texas can win a Super Bowl. Y'all didn't get the joke? Maybe somebody from Texas can win a Super Bowl. I'm going to say the joke again. Maybe a team from Texas can finally win the Super Bowl. Hopefully y'all got the joke. But yeah, give me the Bills, the Patriots, the Texans, because maybe a team from Texas can win the Super Bowl. And give me the Broncos. Exactly. That's why I said maybe a team from Texas can win a Super Bowl, aka the Houston Texans. Hopefully y'all got the joke. Yeah, I don't want nobody from the NFC. They don't deserve it. They don't earn it. No. I don't think you heard me, Rock the Artist. I want anybody in the AFC. I don't want the Bears. I don't want the Rams. I don't want the Seahawks. I don't want the 49. I don't want nobody in the NFC to win the Super Bowl. Give me anyone in the AFC. It don't matter. Because y'all know what the narrative will be if the 49ers or the Seahawks or the Rams or the Bears win it. Y'all know what the narrative is going to be for the team and their quarterback. You know what the narrative is going to be. Y'all know. That's why I said give me somebody in the AFC. Y'all know what the narrative is going to be if the Rams, the Seahawks, the Niners, or the Bears win. We already know. So that's why give me somebody in the AFC. Because let me tell you what the narrative is going to be. I already know what the narrative is going to be. The narrative is going to be, it's that team. It's the Rams. It's the 49ers. It's the Bears. It's the Seahawks. Is they the best team in the NFC? And Matthew Stafford, Brock Purdy, Sam Darnold, Caleb Williams. Are they the best cornerback in the NFC? I already know what the narrative will be. So give me somebody in the AFC. I think it'll be Bills. Then give me the Bills. Bills, give me. If that's the case, Mike, give me the Bills. Because first of all, Josh Allen would finally win a Super Bowl. Welcome to the club. And secondly, Josh Allen can have the narrative that they'll create the next day. I don't need nobody in the NFC winning no Super Bowl. Not the Rams, not the Bears, not the Niners. I know what the narrative is going to be if one of them wins the Super Bowl. So give me somebody in the AFC. What up, Rashid? Yeah, that's why I'm saying give me somebody in the AFC. I don't care who it is. It cannot be nobody in the NFC. It can't. That's why I was happy when the 49ers lost to the Kansas City Chiefs in 2023. That's why I was happy when the Rams lost to the Patriots in 2018. That's why I was happy. I was happy when I was pissed off that the Patriots won all them Super Bowls. But I was also happy because it wasn't anybody in the NFC. Because if we was going to be miserable, y'all mofos were going to be miserable. If our quarterback was going to be miserable, your quarterback was going to be miserable. I don't want nobody, because I promise y'all, you can book it, print it. It don't matter what TV show or podcast it is. If it's the 49ers, if it's the Rams, if it's the Bears, if it's the Seahawks, if one of their teams or quarterbacks, if one of their teams and quarterbacks win the Super Bowl in the NFC side, what the narrative going to be the next day? If the Bears with Purdy, if the Seahawks with Sam Darnold, if the Rams with Matthew Stafford, and if Caleb with the Bears win the Super Bowl in the NFC side, what the narrative going to be? What the narrative going to be? Because I just told you. I just told y'all what the narrative is. Because they did it to the Rams in 2020 after they won the Super Bowl. They did it to us twice when we not only won the Super Bowl, but, got there. Okay, allow me to tell you the narrative. They're going to have the narrative of it's the Rams it's the Rams, the Bears, the 49ers, the Seahawks, the best team in the NFC. Is there a dynasty brewing? And then they're going to add is Caleb, Brock Purdy, Brock Purdy, Sam Darnold, or Matthew Stafford. Yeah. That's why I'm saying I don't want nobody in the NFC winning no mother truck at Super YouTube Bowl. I don't need that. Because the narrative is going to be up here like a damn rocket. What did they say? In 2017, when the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl. Yeah, that's crazy. Keep that there, and I'll listen to that in a minute. What was the narrative for us? Allow me to tell you. Is the Philadelphia Eagles creating a dynasty and is the best team in the NFC? And, of course, is Jalen freaking Hurts the best quarterback in the NFC? Obviously, yes, but that was the narrative. going into next season. Well, if Caleb, Brock Purdy, Matthew Stafford, and Sam Darnold win the NFC and the Super Bowl, those are going to be the narrative, especially if one of them wins Super Bowl MVP. We know this. That's why I'm saying, and I mean this with every fiber of my being, at AFC, Buffalo Bills. It's Josh Allen's time. It's Josh Allen's time. But yeah, y'all, that's basically all the time we have today. I was going back and forth on this. Should I do the Broad Street News? Should I do my own podcast? Should I do the Jalen Freaking Hurts podcast? But as we all know, when it comes to Jalen Freaking Hurts and the offense coordinator, you got to talk about it. You know? You know? So, yeah. Shout out to Jake. Now, the Jalen Freaking Hurts podcast will be back, but only when someone says something stupid. And I'm hoping. Listen to me. Let me do. I want to do something right here. It's right here. It's good right here. On behalf of the king, I really hope some of y'all don't say nothing stupid. Let me and the king have just a little bit of peace. Okay? I'm not addressing Shady McCoy. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to address nobody on 94 WIP. I'm not doing that. Believe what you want. This man ain't going nowhere because I wish I was. So, let's try not to say stuff that will make me come back on here to do the Jalen Freaking Hurts podcast. The only time I need to come up here is if we're getting close to camp. That should be the only. Look at me. Look at me. Off-season programs. Right? OTAs. Mandatory minicamp. Training camp. Maybe a contract extension. Maybe celebrating his birthday. So let's review the time that I'll be back on the Jalen Freaking Hurts podcast. Super Bowl. Yep. Super Bowl recap because in a few days we'll be celebrating an anniversary of Jalen winning this. It's a parade recap because, so basically February 14th and February 9th we'll be celebrating, back on here. Camp, whether it's off-season programs, OTAs, mandatory mini camp, training camp. Jalen Hurts' birthday, the season, and if I gotta address something, or if he's doing something that caught my attention that needs to be acknowledged. I just gave y'all 7 reasons why I should be doing the Jalen Freaking Hurts podcast this off season. Not no dangle and shady talking. Not no 94 WIP talking. Not no Cam Newton talking. Last offseason, after Jalen freaking Hurts won a Super Bowl, I thought that outside of some stuff that was going to be quiet. No, hold on, let me go back. Because I'm going to tell you, all the times I did the Jalen freaking Hurts podcast, I'm going to tell you. Hold on. Let me see something. Because I'm going to tell you last season, the Jalen freaking Hurts podcast that I did, that didn't involve Jalen Hurts topics and Super Bowls. Because that just proved my point. And then we'll get out of here. Because I want every hater, doubted, I want y'all to understand this, okay? So let's get back to last year after we won the Super Bowl. So, Jalen freaking Hurts podcast. So we had Jalen freaking Hurts acknowledgement ceremony. Right? King in Philadelphia in offseason. Right? Better than the big three. Best QB in Eagles history, because I wanted to know. Jalen Hurts news and updates. I got to watch that and see what was the news and updates. And here's one where we talked about Jalen Hurts' super team. We talked about how Devontae Smith calls Jalen a brother. Talking about how he's still winning. Living his best life with Brady. Talking about the schedule. OTAs. State of the Eagles. or State of the Hurts Kingdom. And then, of course, training camp. And then, of course, QB rankings. And then ring him. And kiss the ring. Those are the things we talked about on the Jalen Freaking Hurts podcast last off season. It would be nice if we do that again this off season, but we're a little we're a little quiet. Okay? YouTube. So fly, Eagles, fly. Go Birds. Can y'all at least let me and the King have a little bit of peace and quiet? Please! And don't forget, when you leave out the kingdom, to
Acknowledge me!
Thank you. I just need a little quiet. Exactly. I just ask YouTube just a little bit of quiet from the media when it comes to Jalen. If you want to talk about the Eagles, fine. Can we not do Jalen? It would be nice. Man. Thank you.